Trouble yourself not with the cost of this crusade. Its noble end affords you broad tolerance in your choice of means.
Yeah, we already had the ends justify the means conversation, Ancestor. I'm gonna do this my own way. Anyway, I'm gonna quick drop Emery in some stress treatment. And I think it's time to cure the Crusader's rabies. We really do not want a rabid Crusader. I mean, the extra damage can be helpful, but I don't feel like risking it. How many leeches does this really take? Alright, and I got some gold burning a hole in my pocket. Let's see. How many people do we have who are resolve level 5 or above? Cardinal, Vavasseur, and they're it, but we have a lot of people who are resolve level 4. So one more mission with the right team composition and we might have enough heroes to... No, it's going to take 2 missions because Bertrand is one of our people who's resolve level 4 and he's currently being treated. Oh, let's see. Let's upgrade another Vestal. Let's boost Divine Grace, Judgment, and Dazzling Light. Who else? Adenel is being treated. Let's see. Sordival is, okay, so Sordival and Tardif are basically equal. So Tardif has increased prot, Sordival has increased death blow resistance. Alright. I think Sordival is the one I'm sending out again. Upgrade Retribution, and then I think we're good for upgrading his abilities. And before I forget to do so, because I almost forgot, I'm just going to upgrade Armor Smithing to its maximum level. Because we're definitely upgrading one of these two, and Armor does more to increase a hero's survivability, which is kind of important. Gives us a larger margin for error.
Mold the metal. We are raising an army.
Let's see, who would I be likely to bring on who would I be likely to bring on another mission? Let's see. Clarinel, assuming I'm trying to get people up to resolve level 5 so that we can start taking on champion level missions, then I'd bring Sordival, but he's the only resolve level 4 person I would bring. So if we have a man-at-arms, I'm thinking probably Bassange. Do we have a good Hound? Bassange, Clarinel, and a Vestal is probably the team I'll go with. So, let's see. Sordival can't upgrade his armor any further because his resolve level's too low. Let's see what Clarinel can do. I'll actually upgrade her weapon, but leave her armor alone. Let's see, Clarinel, Sordival, and we don't have a good Houndmaster, so the other front runner will be Bassange, whose equipment has not been upgraded at all. That's an issue. We need a good, strong bounty hunter. And he's also getting his weapon upgraded because, well, the main purpose of a bounty hunter is to inflict damage. And Traley can stand to have another weapon upgrade. Alright. I'd say that's actually probably enough spending for now. It's time to go on another mission. Let's see. I could take out the Fulminating Prophet. So we know how the Prophet works. So the Prophet starts in position 4, and as you destroy his pews, he gradually gets pulled towards you. Do I want to take on the Fulminating Prophet with this team? Let's actually put the team together first. So Traley, Sordival, Clarinel, and Bassange. Honestly, that is a team that is probably capable of taking on the Fulminating Prophet. Prophet. Divine Grace means that as soon as people get knocked down to Death's Door, I can heal them back off of Death's Door. Defender can make up the difference for if an individual hero's health is really low. And, well, it's true that Basanj is the only person who can mark people. I believe Clarinel's Thrown Dagger deals extra damage to marked as well as extra damage to blighted. So it's not necessarily the best possible team for that mission, but I'd say it's actually pretty viable. The one thing is I think I want to drop Judgment for Illumination, since we're going to deal with enemies in stealth. Illumination can't be used when the Vestal is in position 4. Never mind. Alright. Let's make sure we have the abilities we want. Let's see. Finish him could still be good, but I think I want to drop Flashbang for Caltrops, especially since I can use Caltrops against the Prophet when he's still farther back. Though I might just want to use Mark for death, followed by Collect Bounty against the Pews to remove them from the fight. Alright. Clarinel has the ability set I wanted to have. Flashing Daggers isn't anything special, but... Alright. Yep, I'd say everybody is set up properly. And let's Thank you, game! I actually forgot about that completely. Alright. Protection Stone and Recovery Charm, that's right. For you... Let's see. Camper's Helmet, definitely. What else can I give the Bounty Hunter? Is there any other Bounty Hunter specific equipment? Agility Talon, +1 speed and +4 dodge. But, let's see. Actually, no, I'm going to give the heavy boots to the Man-at-Arms, and then I'll give the Agility Talon to the Bounty Hunter. The Bounty Hunter going fast could be good because it allows him to mark people. Alright. Let's see, Blighting Satchel and Quickening Satchel. But I'm not entirely sure I want the Quickening Satchel. What else could I get? Wait a second. Blighting Satchel, and then Sickening Satchel, which deals increases damage versus Blighted. I don't want the Quickening Satchel because, if possible, it's not possible. I was going to say I want Basanj to be able to go before Clarinel, but that's not going to happen. But even so, the extra damage versus Blighted combined with the extra Blight skill chance is pretty good. Reduced dodge is not great, but even with the reduced dodge, her dodge is 11. Alright, and for you, Sacred Scroll and Tome of Holy Healing. Okay, now we're outfitted to take on a boss, and I am going to remember the torches. This is not a challenge run. I don't want to make it into an accidental challenge run. A couple extra shovels, because we run into obstructions reasonably often. Some bandages, some anti-venom, not as much anti-venom as bandages. Plenty of food. And some medicinal herbs. Skeleton key. Actually, I don't need that many medicinal herbs. But extra skeleton keys can be good. And holy water. 3 should do it. Okay, we're not missing anything. We're actually not missing anything. Let's do this.
This raving creature had to be silenced, but doing so proved maddeningly impossible. How had he survived the stockades, the icy waters, and the knives I delivered so enthusiastically into his back? How had he returned time and time again to rouse the townfolk with his wild speculations and prophecies? The echoes of his mindless tittering reverberate maddeningly.
That's interesting. So we essentially have an immortal crazy person. Except the crazy part is somewhat debatable since his prophecies seem to consistently come true. Also, yeah, I'm checking this room just in case it actually is the boss room. It isn't, but didn't feel like risking that. Okay, poison darts. You know, in hindsight, I really should have had Basange learn Come Hither.
Destroyed.
Alright. Alright, I may as well hit the conscript judgment.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Alright, and Throne Dagger. And that is the end of him. So far, Clarinel's stress has actually gone down since the beginning of the mission. And, let's see if we can throw the corpse back. Apparently not. Oh, 220% move resistant. That's why we can't throw the corpse back. We can destroy it, though. And now he's reduced to using bayonet jab. Yeah, it's not ideal that the hero who can inflict Mark and the hero who can benefit from Mark are the same guy, but I think we can make it work. Okay. Do not want to use holy water on this. There's really nothing we want to use on this. Alright. Well, it was necessary to check that room just in case. I do not want to make it all the way to the opposite end of the dungeon to discover that that's where the boss was at the time. But now we go on our probably fairly long trek in search of the Prophet.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Maybe we should take the hint, you know? Maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Alright. Poison darts on the marksman. Mark for death on the bulwark. I think we have officially found the strangest ability to be able to dodge. How do you even dodge that? He's indicating you to his teammates. Are you like hiding behind one of the other skeletons saying, nope, nope, I'm not the one who's marked for death, somebody else must be. You have the wrong guy. Well, the bulwark is stunned at least. And Quarrel missed. Wow, things are looking up. Oh no, bump in the night. Oh, there we go.
Obliterated.
I'm really liking the extra damage versus blighted. That's been doing some good. Alright, Mark for Death worked this turn. Alright, Divine Comfort. Not much reason to do anything else. And that's the end of the conscript. And collect bounty.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Pretty good haul of loot for just a hallway battle, too. Wait, let's collect ourselves and collect this wealth beyond measure. Let me see something. Yeah, he actually hasn't learned Come Hither. I would assume that the Prophet himself is immune to move abilities, considering that the Prophet's entire boss fight is so dependent on keeping us at arm's length. But then again, the Necromancer kind of is too, and the Necromancer isn't immune to move abilities. Well, we don't have any move abilities, so I suppose I'll find out another time. And Doomsday. Okay. Yeah, same strategy as before. Have Clarinel deal with the marks. And I'm just going to straight up use Collect Bounty for the extra damage versus human. Since now I can finish him off with Crush.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And Graveyard Slash is actually dangerous. Okay. And Tempting Goblet is always dangerous, mostly because of the stress. Well, finish off the marksman. Close enough. Yeah, I'll mark the Noble for death, because then Clarinel can take advantage of that next turn.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And Retribution on the corpse. Because now I have a way of damaging the veteran.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Like so. And may as well just use Collect Bounty on the veteran to finish him off.
Falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And there we go. It is kind of backwards because for the most part...
This expedition at least promises success.
Let's see, what to give up. Let's see. Yeah, I'll drop the Jade for the Emerald. It is kind of interesting because normally the Bounty Hunter is the one who benefits from enemies being marked, but in this case he's marking enemies and then Clarinel is using Thrown Dagger to finish them off. It's kind of the reverse of the way the Bounty Hunter normally operates. Though in more protracted battles he can benefit too. Like what this one's gonna be. Alright. Okay. Oh, mark him for death. Ow. Very ow. Well, let's see if we can stun him. We can. I also threw him back a little farther than I intended to. I was actually hoping the move part would fail so that I could hit him with Collect Bounty. Alright, let's just wear the Noble down. Well, I guess I can hit him with Thrown Dagger instead. That move ability succeeding threw everything off. The plan was for the knockback to fail so the Bounty Hunter could hit him with Collect Bounty and Clarinel could finish off the Marksman. Instead, we're kind of doing the opposite of that. Alright. At least we're rid of the Noble.
Onslaught. Destroy them all.
Okay, now you're in the positions I want you to be. Well, it's been nice knowing you, Mr. Marksman, but it's time to die.
Eradicated.
And that just leaves you, and you're finally in position for Collect Bounty. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to take away that one hit point in treasure.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Dropping the Onyx for the Sapphire. And medicinal herbs aren't useless, but we haven't had a lot of luck with them in the ruins, so I'm dropping them for the portraits. What to drop now? Portraits are very valuable. I'm actually going to drop the emerald and the gold. I mean, money is valuable, but we have the ability to get more of it since we have a fairly experienced antiquarian. So when we want money, I'll just send an antiquarian on a mission. The rest of the time we can assume we're after heirlooms. Until we've fully upgraded the structures, and then we don't need heirlooms anymore. Alright. And hunger. Oh, we prepared for that. We honestly kind of over-prepared for that.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
And, in all probability, we're going to encounter the boss in the farthest room from the entrance. That's how it usually is. Unless you're the Swine Lord, and then you're just in some random place in the middle of the dungeon. Alright. We've already got a strategy for this team. Let's use it. Mark for death.
Inspiration and improvement.
Dazzling light. And crush on the conscript. So one of them actually gets an action this round, and he's going to die next round. Alright. There we go. Now the conscript is no longer, or the bulwark is no longer stunned, so I can't use finish him. Collect bounty, however. That is a lot of prot. He has a lot of prot. Like, surviving being hit with that is actually quite an achievement.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Well, the next thing to get voted off the island is going to be the holy water. Alright. Got another one of these teams. Except it's 2 nobles. Alright. Mark for death, also to reduce his prot. Dazzling light. Once again, I won't be able to use.
The path is clear.
I won't be able to use finish him
Require only the strength to follow it.
because my party's turns happen in the wrong order for that. And let's see if you can one-shot the noble. You can. Let's take out the other one. And that leaves just the bulwark, all by himself. Or the commander, all by himself. Now is a good time for it.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Well, that's what Divine Grace is for. Denial. Alright. I'm actually going to use poison darts on you. I want you to be both marked and blighted. Alright, Divine Comfort. Bassange is still doing a little poorly, but... Alright, he's only blighted for 3, so yeah. There we go. And let's finish him off in style.
A victory. Perhaps the turning point.
Alright.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
And it's not worth dropping any of the stuff we currently have for any of this stuff. And we can give up the citrine. Alright. No scouting this time. Honestly, I probably should have gone through this room because there's risk of it containing the boss. Okay. Guess we'll try anti-venom and bandages. Oops. Well, the shovel was a bad decision. I probably should have known better. What does oh. Let's see. Flashing daggers.
Another one falls.
And collect bounty.
Executed.
Alright, and that just leaves the one maggot and grave nibble. Oh, crush. There we go. When we're not defiling the dead, we're a pretty effective team. What does that guilty conscience do? Bears the crushing guilt of deeds real and imagined, so it doesn't specify exactly what effect that has. Alright, stashed heirlooms.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Rests. We're close enough to the end that I can drop the remainder of this stack of torches. I kind of overcorrected after forgetting to bring any at all last time. Oh yay, we're surprised. Well, it's gonna take another hit of thrown dagger to kill that guy.
Brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Okay. Yeah, the stress level for the grave robber is getting a little high. Though on the whole, this fight isn't too bad. Okay, you can only move one at a time. Alright. Okay, that's the end of the nobles. That just leaves the one conscript. Alright, use your party heal. Ha 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 ha! Outmaneuvered.
Success
Right.
so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
As useful as portraits are, I'm not dropping any of our items for one portrait. However, what with the between Clarinel's mental state and the fact that we're very close to the boss room, actually, wait a second. If this is definitely not the boss, I'm going to go to this room and then we'll rest in this room. Okay, I'm not trusting that confessional. I'm not trusting that thing any farther than I can throw it. Oh, another one of the... Ooh, a new enemy type. Bone Spearman. That's new. Well, I'm going to focus on the marksman. Partially because I think the spearman probably can't easily hit, the rear or back people. All right, mark for death. And do I want to use crush on the spearman? Sure, why not? May as well start wearing him down. Crushing blow missed, that's good. And thrown dagger. And missed dagger. Well, I suppose Clarinel had to make a mistake at some point. And collect bounty. She's kind of having herself a duel with the marksman. They always seem to target each other.
Precision and power.
And ground pound missed again, that's good. So we'll use Divine Comfort to restore those last few hit
Compassion
points.
is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Alright, let's try that thrown dagger again. It is really not your day, Clarinel. Well, really, it's just not your battle. You've been doing great for the majority of the mission. Whoa. Alright, Divine Grace on yourself, Traley. Critical! And let's be rid of the commander.
The greater the glory.
Okay. Took Traley a few tries to sight her aim in, but she got it.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay, risky option, but I'm dropping our last shovel for the 6 busts. And let us make camp. Okay,
A spark
feast.
without kindling is a goal without hope.
Let's see. Gallows humor. Minus 25 stress for the grave robber. So it didn't cause stress in anyone, but 2 people have no stress. Alright. Let's see, I have Sanctuary, Scout ahead. Okay, I'm going to start by using Sanctuary to prevent nighttime ambushes. And then Clarinel's stress level is down to an acceptable level, so I'm going to use Encourage to reduce. So I'm going to use Weapons Practice to increase everybody's damage. Yeah, plus the 2 important ones, Clarinel and Basange, now both have increased damage and critical chance. Perfect. Just what we need.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
And use our penultimate skeleton key to find even
laden
more
with
heirlooms.
loot are often low on supplies.
And... I'll drop the last skeleton key for 6 crests. And we have successful scouting. And we have a boss room. Alright. Pack has already been looted. So all that remains is killing a prophet. Again.
The madman hides there, behind the pews, spouting his mindless drivel.
Okay, prognostication. Alright, start with poison darts.
A devastating blow.
Oh, did that sting? And mark for death. And judgment. Actually, I probably should use judgment on the frontmost pew. And defender on the person who's going to be hit by the prognostication. And fulminate missed, that's good. Alright. And thrown dagger. Ho 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 ho. That extra damage, that damage buff is helpful. Now, I'm going to mark the pew. I can't reach him with Dazzling Light, but I'm gonna hit the pew with Judgment. If I can get rid of just the frontmost pew, then I can use Crush on the Prophet himself. There's a unique creature type, Carpentry. Right, Rubble of Ruin. Still missed. Wonder how long that'll keep up. Alright. He is still both marked and blighted. So let's see what Thrown Dagger can do in that situation. Okay, only 12 when he's, Alright, and that's the end of the pew. Alright, Defender on the Vestal. Basange is durable enough to handle being hit, but Traley is not.
Well struck.
Eye on you. Ugh. That I took some stress damage from that one. And also our main damage dealer is stunned now. You can Defender Prognostication? I thought Defender would only trigger for Rubble of Ruin, but it actually triggered for the Prognostication itself. Okay, Anti-Venom. Let's see, Collect Bounty can only hit the front two, so I'm going to try and take out one more Fractured Pew, so that I can actually reach him with Collect Bounty.
Beyond one's limits.
Alright. And Crush. Alright. Got more Anti-Venom. And Divine Grace. Let's get Basange patched up a little bit. And yep, we got the Rubble of Ruin pretty much focused on the person who can most easily handle it. Alright. How long are you blighted for? 2 more rounds. I'm gonna blight you again just to make sure you stay that way. Ooh, critical.
Executed.
And I'm gonna mark I'm gonna mark him for death. And Defender on Clarinel. Just get all of the falling rubble damage to happen to the Man-at-Arms, because he's the one who can take it. And thankfully, Fulminate appears to have very low accuracy. Okay, so...
Life ebbs. Terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Okay, so you cannot use Defender to absorb damage if you were also hit by Prognosticate. Alright?
Impressive.
I've come to collect. Alright? Last rubble is gone. Or the last pew I need to get rid of is gone, so now he's within range of Collect Bounty. Alright, Divine Grace on Clarinel. Clarinel has already died once, she's not dying again. Alright. She can't quite reach the same level as that one critical.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Glad I brought a lot of anti-venom. Oh, great. Okay, Traley is not at death's door yet. Alright. I have a plan. Anti-venom. Thrown dagger. 19! Nice. Collect bounty.
Did he foresee his own demise? I
And
cannot, so long as he remains dead.
And I didn't even need... I was planning on using Defender on the Vestal, but I don't even need to do that. And... in order to collect all of the loot that he dropped, we're pretty much going to have to drop all of our supply items. So I'm not going to go and bother investigating the one room that we haven't gotten to yet. I'm just going to take everything and return to the hamlet. That was successful. Though, if the Ancestor's memories are any indication, we'll be seeing him again. Also, yep, the end of the first year. I'm doing this for 52 weeks. Only 8,000 gold worth of loot, plus the 6750 reward. Demon's Cauldron. That's an interesting trinket. So it's kind of a high-risk, high-reward trinket. It makes the occultist way more powerful at the cost of making him deal with stress sources a lot less well. And so if you can manage his stress intake effectively so that he doesn't become... so that his resolve isn't tested, you're probably okay. But yep, if we need more gold, I can send an antiquarian in. In the meantime, we've got this wondrous bounty of heirlooms. And we have a resolve level 5 Man-at-Arms. Chance to turn any miss into a hit. So just after it does an accuracy roll and decides that he missed, it can might just re-roll the accuracy roll and decide that he hit instead. That's amazing. I may need to lock that in. Though I don't have the gold to do that right now, but I may need to lock that in. And Traley is a Ruminator. Reduced stress heal. That's not amazing, but it's manageable.
Your soldiers' minds are mired in malignancy. Fear has taken root.
And we have reduced... the dark is rising, giving us reduced virtue chance. Right. Well, everybody was being de-stressed, has been de-stressed, and I think Clarinel has earned herself a drink or several. Though let's see about upgrading this place first. think I will upgrade the bar to increase the stress
All manner of
recovery.
diversion and dalliance await those who cross the threshold with coin in hand.
And let's drop Clarinel in here. Bring the whole bottle. This will not be a short night. Well, we can afford it. What would it take to upgrade weaponsmithing? 44 deeds. Which is 44 minus 14 would be 30, so 20. We need to gain 29. We can't do that. Yeah, we are, technically speaking, if I traded away all of my busts and all of my portraits, I would have enough deeds, but I would still be 8 crests short. And I imagine the guild is the same way or worse. Yeah, 33 portraits and then 84 crests. It's going to be a while before we can upgrade the guild. The question then is, do I want to hold off on other upgrades until I can afford to upgrade the guild, or do I want to upgrade something else first? I think I want to upgrade the, let's see, disease treatment cost isn't really an issue, but locking in quirks is really expensive, and so maybe upgrading that so that we don't do that, so that it costs less and I can afford to do it more often would be good. Patient cells is good, especially when we get the healers convention into town, but I think I'm going to, since it's free for however many cells there are, but I think I'm going to get the treatment library.
Curious methodologies and apparatus can calm even the most tormented soul.
Right, and that still leaves us with a fair amount of gold we could potentially spend. And we almost have a team to go on champion level missions. I'm gonna quick pop over to the guild with Bertrand now that he's out of stress treatment. And the only ability of his I would kind of be interested in, yeah, I don't see much benefit to Blinding Gas by comparison to Disorienting Blast, since Disorienting Blasts still stuns but also shuffles and clears enemy corpses. I think I will upgrade Incision, and I think I will what would upgrading Disorienting Blast do? It would increase the stun chance a little bit. Well, that could be useful. And let's look at Tardif, because he's probably going on the next mission. Not really sure who else I want to upgrade. I suppose let's look into upgrading equipment. Bertrand, I could upgrade, let's upgrade his armor and his weapon, because he will be resolved level 5 soon. And, well, before I decide how to spend any of the rest of this bounty, I think I'm going to get us a fresh recording file. So, I will be back in a moment.
Trouble yourself not with the cost of this crusade. Its noble end affords you broad tolerance in your choice of means.
Alright, I am back, and I am going to hold on to the remainder of my heirlooms in the hopes of upgrading the guild or the blacksmith a little sooner. However, let's spend some gold upgrading my heroes. Let's see, Basange is good except for his armor. Damour could definitely use some work. How's Adno? Ooh, he could also really use some work. And that's really all we can afford to spend, so it's time for another quest. Well, we could take on the Necromancer Lord, but if we're going to the ruins, we're doing a champion level mission, which we're really not quite ready for yet. I could take on the Sunken Crew. With the Martyrs, in exchange for the Martyrs seal. That's... Now, admittedly, the 60% damage boost and the damage and critical boosts at Death's Door are a bit high risk. I wouldn't necessarily try to use those on purpose, but an extra 12% death blow resistance and 15% max HP, that's quite nice. Alternatively, I could detoxify the corpses, get the lucky talisman for the grave robber, but that's not really that impressive since the grave robber's dodge and accuracy are already very good, and it gives plus 10% stress. Sunshine in the Thicket might turn out to be very useful. I don't know exactly what it does, but alternatively, I could get another focus ring. I think I'm going to go after the, I think I am going to go after the Sunken Crew. Those 18 crests are tempting me, too. So, let's see. Who to bring? I think I'm actually going to bring Damour instead of Traley. I have to drop Sword of All. The question is, who do I bring in place of him? I think I'm going to bring Adnel. And if I'm bringing Basange, I want someone else who can either inflict or benefit from marks. So that would be Emery, actually, as the Houndmaster, with precisely this setup. Alright. This also gives me a decent variety of support abilities. I'd say this is actually a pretty good team composition to take on this boss fight. I think we can do this. Oh, and again I forget the trinkets. Alright, let's see. The Crusaders' Orders, or the Holy Orders, and the Heroes' Ring are pretty good, but let me see if I can replace the Heroes' Ring with something better. Unequip all trinkets. That does include for people currently in the party. Alright. Let's see, I could give him the heavy boots. Alternatively, Book of Constitution, maybe. Or the Recovery Charm, which increases his healing received. I think I'm gonna go with that because he's kind of filling the same role that the Man-at-Arms does. And that combined with his increased death blow resistance could be very useful. Though I can see Adnel being the one who gets the Martyr's Seal in the long run. Since he can equip the Holy Orders for 12%, the Martyr's Seal would make that 24%, making leaving him on Death's Door more of a viable option. And the Camper's Helmet. And I'll go with the Agility Talon. And I've changed my mind. I think I actually want Adnel to have the heavy boots. I think the higher prot will serve me better than the greater healing received. And for our Houndmaster, let's see. I'm honestly wondering if I should equip him with the Eldritch Slayer's Ring, but I honestly can't remember if the Sodden Crew are considered Eldritch. Let's see, the Book of Relaxation and the Focus Ring. His evasion will be very low, but high accuracy and high critical could both be very helpful, since he's the one who's going to be doing a lot of the damage with Hound's Rush. And that just leaves the Vestal, whose equipment is at least very straightforward. Tome of Holy Healing, and Sacred Scroll. Alright. Pretty much everyone, with the exception of the Man-at-Arms, everyone in the team is in some way has reduced defense, but I think we can make this work. Actually, no. The two in the front have. I don't think the Man-at-Arms. I don't think the Bounty Hunter is under any penalties, and Adenel has reduced speed. But the Vestal and the Houndmaster both have reduced. The Houndmaster has reduced evasion, and the Vestal has reduced maximum health. Well, that's why they're in the back. The people in the front should be taking most of the hits. Alright, I'm going to bring... Actually, I'm not really sure I want to bring less food, seeing as we went through all of it last time. $16 torches should be enough. Some shovels. Some anti-venom. Some bandages. More in the way of medicinal herbs, because those we get more use out of those. Let's just bring one holy water, though. Do I want another key? No, let's get more bandages and more anti-venom. And I'd say we're prepared.
I employed a crew of particularly unsavory mariners, who for a time sailed the four corners at my behest, retrieving many valuable artifacts, relics, and rare texts. Predictably, they increased their tariffs to counter my intense stipulations of secrecy. Such resources had long been exhausted, of course, and so I prepared an alternative payment.
I am really not going to like what this alternative payment was when I find
The
out.
poor devils, chained and drowning for eternity.
Well, we have successful scouting on our first look at the map. I think we had that last time, too. We've had a lot of good scouting luck this episode. Well, room battle with treasure. Unfortunately, the layout's a bit less to our advantage than it was last time. Though it still isn't too bad. I'm betting that the boss is here, but they could be somewhere else. Alright. And anti-venom. And reduced stress. Not the best boon in the world, but definitely not bad. Okay. I think I know what my plan is for this turn. Okay, Rend for the Old Gods missed. That's good. Seaward Slash didn't. Alright, target whistle on the Gladiator, and now Basanj should be able to comfortably one-shot the thing on his turn, because it's both human and marked. Yep. Dazzling Light on the Enchantress.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Alright. Zealous Accusation is one thing I don't have, it's a good corpse clearing ability. Alright, he dodged Stressful Incantation, that's good. Alright, let's just remove the corpse. And mark for death on the Oracle. And it missed again. I'm still getting used to the idea that that can miss. Well, in that case, target whistle on the wide mouth. Alright, that isn't good. Well, it missed. Or, well, it failed to pull, at least. And now target whistle on the Oracle. I wasn't expecting him to go after Basanj on one turn and then before Basanj on the following turn, but... and there we go.
A brilliant confluence of skill
and comfort. Just quick do a bit of healing on the whole party. And I'm gonna go with Stunning Blow on the Enchantress. Right. And both of them are faster than anyone on our team, so they will always go first, it seems. Little concerned about the Crusaders' mental state. Oh, collect bounty. Right. Divine Grace. Let's at least get his physical state up to full. And Hound's Rush. Okay. That Oracle did a very good job of avoiding damage.
Sedated.
Alright. And collect bounty because the Enchantress is human. Alright. Inspiring Cry. Just gonna try to pull his stress level down a little bit. For the same reason, let's try Cry Havoc. And Dazzling Light. Since nobody's really injured.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Alright, her stun resistance is low enough that this can work. And collect bounty. And even though it hit, she still isn't dead. Well, you know what? Let's go with Smite. There we go.
Onslaught. Destroy them all.
Yeah, the Crusaders showing the bounty hunter how it's done. And our first skeleton key. Oh, I wasn't expecting this to be that much of an heirloom run. Okay, so Adenel's trap deep disarm is 40%, 80% for the bounty hunter. I think the bounty hunter is the one who's going to be doing it. I'd like to be able to have Adenel do it because successfully disarming a trap reduces stress, but with only a 40% chance of succeeding... Alright, let's mark a wide mouth for death. Okay, stress wave, but at least it's targeting the people with low stress. And there we go. And because it can hit the Oracle, Zealous Accusation. Alright, Divine Grace. I, for some reason, thought I was using Divine Comfort. I apparently still get those abilities mixed up. Alright, Sea Breeze isn't really an issue, because I should be able to kill the Wide Mouth for full health. I almost can kill the Wide Mouth for full health. Oh, I'm going to use Divine Comfort.
The wounds of war can be healed.
And
Hidden.
Pelagie Widemouth, read 'em and weep. No, you were supposed to weep. In fact, actually, you were supposed to die. Let's just see if I can just kill the Oracle with Collect Bounty. Okay.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
And, yep, and that problem took care of itself. You see, this is the truth. If you...
Nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
You see, important life lesson here. If you ignore your problems, they go away. Well, only if your problems are already taking bleeding damage.
We require only the strength to follow it.
I'm gonna give up the holy water for the deeds. I can get useful stuff from the holy water, but 6 deeds is more valuable. Alright. And... oh, another one of these guys. Well, I brought exactly the team for this. So I'm actually going to use Target Whistle on the Wide Mouth. Basically, Emery, you take care of the 2 Wide Mouths and leave the Uea Crusher to everyone else. Alright, it resisted stun, but it has reduced prot. Okay, that inflicts a lot of bleed. That 8 for 3. I'm glad I brought bandages. Smite. Wait, I meant to use Stunning Blow. I meant to try to stun it. Well, either way, it's marked. And collect bounty. Still only 16 because of its high prot. That did a lot of damage. Well, see if you can get rid of the wide mouth. Looks like it'll take another hit. Well, Divine Comfort, because everybody's a little messed up. Fortunately, we can basically stay in this order. Alright, Stunning Blow. Well, Stunning Blow won't give us the opportunity to use Finish Him. Alright, that's the end of one wide mouth. That had no real effect on their formation. Now the wide mouths are concentrating their attacks. Oh, another collect bounty. What's its stun resistance now? 120%, so yeah, I can't stun it anymore. Well, Smite. Almost. Divine Grace. That's a stunning attack, isn't it? Oh, it's basically their version of Rampart, I guess. Well, collect bounty.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Ow. Spearfishing does a lot of damage. Well, at least Emery gets to retaliate. Divine Grace. We need to keep the Hound Master alive. I'll worry about how messed up our formation is in a moment. You know, I'm so used to the Pelagie wide mouths being just a minor enemy. I'm so used to them just being a minor enemy because they're not really dangerous when they're in the front, that I forget how dangerous they can be in the backline using Spearfishing. Because normally they fill the same role as the Bone Conscripts. There we go. But he's gone now. Like all of my problems, he'll go away if I just wait a moment. And Cry Havoc. Can even reduce the stress levels a little bit. And he dies. Okay. I'm actually going to give up the 3 busts. I'm also actually going to come back for this chest, probably. Because we're pretty much out of inventory space. I don't want to drop things like the dog treats or other usable items this early into the quest, so I'm going to wait until we've used up more stuff. And I feel bad about leaving these crests, but the same is true here. And hunger. Well, that'll contribute to using stuff up.
The light, the promise of safety.
And more scouting. That camping helmet is doing us a lot of good. That was very successful scouting. Okay. Ah, 500 gold we don't have inventory space for. Yeah, we're leaving a lot of stuff behind. But, well, the primary goal of this mission is to defeat a boss, not to find loot. Alright, we got a shovel.
Mariner, another misfortune. Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
At this point, I'm going to take a bit of a risk. I'm going to light up the torches
A match
until...
is struck. A blazing star is born.
Alright, and I'll drop the remainder of this stack of torches for more heirloom space. We can get additional torches, and 8 torches should carry us through the end of the mission. Okay, we know where the boss is. I'm just gonna go straight for the boss, and then we can loop back around and take on and collect at least this chest and possibly see what this curio is. That way we have a bit more inventory space when we're collecting loot. But I really want to save the dog treats for when we're fighting the boss. Because frankly, Hound's Rush, with the Hound having been powered up against a boss that's marked, would probably do a lot of damage. And a journal page. We won't be able to take it back with us, but... we've already read this one. Alright. Okay, and our first thrall. This fight is going to be a bit of a thing. I think I can handle the thrall, though. Mark for death. And Hound's Rush. Okay, that's not enough. I need more damage. Please don't explode. Please don't explode. Thank you. Thank you for not exploding. That's almost... Oh my... Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That's bad. Well, I'm going to exploit something that I have learned the hard way about defender abilities, which is that if an area of effect attack hits the person, the guard, and the person being guarded, they both take damage. And that is how we do that. I can breathe again knowing that the thrall is dead. Well, is no longer undead, I suppose. Mark for death on the bulwark. Hound's Rush on the bulwark. Still didn't do a lot of damage. Divine Comfort. Stunning Blow. Yeah, but that he recovers from stun, so... It's kind of difficult to exploit, finish him, because enemies are not stunned for multiple turns, but they are marked for multiple turns. Alright. Yeah, 65% protection, that's a bit of a problem. Well, stun resistance is too high for it to be worth risking, so I'm just going to use Zealous Accusation. And another Hound's Rush. Oh ho ho! A successful Hound's Rush. Alright. And I'm going to use Dazzling Light on the Oracle. Because he'll die in 2 turns. So now he gets to attack once. Octus says this. And now he's gone on the next turn, so we may as well focus on the other enemies. So, mark the Oracle for death. And now the Houndmaster can finish it off. And in the meantime, attempt to smite the Wide Mouth. And there we go. The Oracle's almost gone. And now the Oracle is completely gone. Our medic just killed your medic. Congratulations. We got medic on medic violence. And that is the end of that.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Alright. Gonna drop 4 of the food. Bit of a gamble, but I'm willing to take it. To take 1,350 gold. And since this is the last room before the boss, this is the time to make camp. Feast.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
Reduce everybody's stress. Alright, scout ahead isn't really helpful. Tracking isn't really that helpful. Okay, so I'm going to start with Zealous Speech, which reduces our stress not just now, but for a while. Unfortunately, I don't have any good pre-battle abilities, but I am going to use Hound's Watch to prevent us from being ambushed. And let's use Bless. Who would benefit the most from Bless? The Bounty Hunter, because Collect Bounty is going to be my main damage dealing ability. Alright. And it's time to take on another boss. Well, we got a hallway battle first. And then it's time to take on a boss. Should I consider this a sign of good luck that the one curio in this hallway is a torch? Place target whistle on the wide mouth. And collect bounty.
Eradicated.
Dazzling light on the maggot. And he resisted it. And I'm just going to use smite on the corpse. Almost had it.
Grievous injury.
That's a problem.
Palpable fear.
Yeah, that's a problem. That...
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Yeah, that's a problem. Alright, Divine Grace on... Heal the one who's slightly more injured than you. Alright. May as well use Collect Bounty on the maggot. Yeah, you won't kill it, but you can at least make progress. Let's see. I'm going to use Hound's Rush on the maggot as part of a larger plan. Because now I should be able to finish it off with Zealous Accusation. Or at least, yeah, it's low enough that the bleeding will kill it.
Gently.
Okay, and now
Life is taken.
the situation is under control. The wide mouth can only use Seaward Slash, which is less dangerous. And the corpses are gone, so we can all attack him. Alright, Divine Grace. Alright, the Vestal's back up to almost full health. And there... Thou art judged!
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
And a critical hit when we needed it the least. Well, time for a boss fight. Let's see if we can do this.
Even in death, the captain shouts his orders, and the crew obeys.
Alright, so we have a drowned ropeman. Alright. Target whistle on the crew itself. Alright, and collect bounty on the crew. Alright, 17 is pretty good. Alright, dazzling light on the ropeman. Alright. And uses heave ho. And it missed. Perfect. Alright, stunning blow on the ropeman. His stun resistance isn't that high, but he keeps successfully resisting stun. Alright, and he's already not marked anymore. Well, he still has the reduced prot. But you can't reduce an enemy's prot below 0, I think. Alright, all she can do is move back. Collect bounty. 28, that's better. And you move forward one, and we're mostly back in position. Okay. Now we need to concentrate on taking out the ropeman. Okay, mark the ropeman for death. So, I forgot about that. So the bounty hunter can still fight while he's grabbed. Alright, mutiny's a bit of a problem because the other one mark exploiter is taking damage and the other one is, they are unholy, so smite. Alright, that did the majority of the work. I keep forgetting that the sunken crew gets 2 turns. It's 2 actions. And, alright. The ropeman's out. Divine Comfort. And I don't really need to rearrange the party order any more than I already have. I just had to say it. I just had to say it. Alright. Mark the ropeman for death. Hound's Rush on him. Collect bounty should finish him off. Alright, and that was their final action, which means that Adenel gets to go separately from that, but he got pushed out of position. He has not gotten to do very much this turn, or this fight. Alright, they used Heave Ho. Alright. Collect bounty. Same thing, only 14 damage. Okay, we need to be able to kill the ropeman faster. That's the problem. That's the problem. The ropemen are living for too long, and so I don't have enough time to actually damage the boss itself. Alright, let's get Target Whistle up. The thing is, Target Whistle's prot reduction doesn't really do much, because I believe when it doesn't have a ropeman active, the Sunken Crew's prot is actually 0. Alright. I have an idea for how to deal with the, See, Hound's Harry won't do enough damage, so I'm just gonna have the Houndmaster move back 2 spaces. Let's see, what's their stun resistance? It's only 70%. Alright. I have a plan for how to deal with the ropeman. Alright, Smite. Yeah, he has high prot when he doesn't have someone grabbed, and then his prot goes down when he's been grabbed, when he has someone grabbed. Alright. Hound's Rush on the boss. Collect bounty on the boss. Alright. And now 1 smite and 1 collect bounty should be enough to kill the ropeman. Unfortunately, the Vestal can do nothing, because she's immobilized with no abilities that can be used in position 1. Alright. Yeah, this is the reason why this fight is so difficult. Alright. Okay, you're gonna have to just use Inspire and Cry. This is the problem. They managed to pull the Vestal into being in position 1, which screws up a lot of the things I was trying to do. Alright, this is gonna be hard. This is also why mark exploitation is so important in this fight. You have to be able to do a lot of damage fast. Alright. Okay, Target Whistle.
Waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Alright, boarding clutch. Alright. And collect bounty. Okay, 17. Bandage, and unfortunately you're just gonna have to pass your turn. Right. Bandage. And Inspiring Cry, because I don't really have anything else I can do. Alright, and collect bounty. Okay, that's the end of the ropeman. Yeah, your wounds are mounting. Okay, Target Whistle. Alright, move back 1. Okay, you move forward 1. Okay, and he's at death's door. He resisted the bleeding, at least.
The abyss.
Okay, all hands on deck, finally on the right person. Alright. Mark for death. Drink with the dead isn't too much of a problem when it's used on the Vestal. Alright. Smite. Divine Comfort. Get Emery off of Death's Door, but also heal everyone.
Sedated.
Hound's Rush. Okay, heave 2 missed. Good. Right. Right. I'm not gonna risk the ropeman getting to do anything. Right. And you just use target whistle. Right. Divine Comfort again. Try and get the team closer to full health. And Mutiny, which did 0 damage. Right. Use Inspiring Cry for now. And that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Alright, collect bounty. Let's see. Target whistle. No, move back 1. Alright. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do about the rope. Well, I suppose it's not really a question anymore. Alright. Let's use Divine Comfort. That just leaves the Crusader as the only one who can move. Right. And the boarding crutch missed despite the fact that he's immobilized. Why does it get healed twice a turn? Shouldn't it only get healed once a turn? Yeah, it's like it gets healed every time any of us gets an action. Which is really hard to keep up with in terms of inflicting damage. And it's almost back to full health.
Impressive.
And again, a critical when we needed it the least. Alright. Clutch. I don't like that attack, but I think I like the ropeman even less. Alright. The other thing is the reducing of prot through target whistle isn't terribly helpful because I believe when not buffed by the presence of the ropeman, it has 0 prot. Okay, it's stunned. What? So stunning it doesn't actually prevent it from using all hands on... That's fair. That's entirely fair. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not... It's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. Okay, if Basange gets to act before that thing gets to use Heave 2, we might be able to avoid this turn. I had to say it. I just had to say it. Okay, at least it only got 5 hit points out of it. I think that's how we have to do it. Alright. Dazzling Light on the crew itself is meaningless, because the only ability I really need to prevent is all hands on deck. And there is no way to prevent that. Right. Let's focus. Alright, let's use March for Death. Because I think my best bet, honestly, is to wait until after it uses Heave 2, make peace with the fact that he'll gain 5 hit points, and then kill it once its prod is reduced by 50%. However, I can at least attempt to keep the ropeman stunned.
Masterfully executed.
Because it can only use Heave 2 on the person in the frontmost position on my team. And Heave 2 does not prevent the person who's been grabbed from attacking. So now I just need to wait for Basange to get a turn to finish the thing off. Like that. Okay, that's how we deal with that. I think I've got this guy figured out. Right, target whistle. Alright, boarding clutch, and we no longer have bandages because we used all of them. Oh, Divine Comfort, just keep the whole team alive. Drink with the dead. Right. Smite. Not a critical, but still did a fair amount. Alright, all hands on deck. Right. So remember the plan. Do not attempt to kill the ropeman until after he has grabbed someone. You can attempt to. I can attempt to stun him with dazzling light, but otherwise, I'm just going to focus on inflicting. I thought he was. Oh, his mark wore off. I was going to say, why did otherwise Divine Grace get. And Smite doesn't really care whether you're marked or not. Heave 2. But since the Ropeman is already marked, now that he no longer has increased prot, Assange should be able to kill the Ropeman by himself in one hit consistently. And in the rare occasions that he cannot, that just means that the boss gains an extra hit point or two before Adenel can finish it off with Smite. Or Emery can finish it off with Hound's Rush. Alright. Okay, I think I have this guy figured out. Divine Comfort to try and keep up with the bleeding damage.
Sedated.
Right. And Adenel has become our main source of damage, it seems. Right. We're going to use all hands on deck, because if there isn't a Ropeman active, they will always do that. Alright. Still use Target Whistle, and Basange can still hit it with, Collect Bounty. In the meantime, I'm just going to use Collect Bounty on the boss, just to wear it down. Because that extra prot really makes it pointless to try to attack this thing. Alright, just going to use Inspiring Cry for now. Alright. That boarding clutch damage is adding up fast. Alright, you move back one so that you don't become the person who's grabbed. And now it uses Heave 2, and it misses. Alright. What I do now depends on who gets the next turn. I wish that Adenel had failed to resist that move. Well, now that it's marked, we can do that. And I keep forgetting to use the dog treats. I was thinking about using the... It wouldn't have been appropriate to use them last turn. It would have been appropriate to use them this turn, and I forgot about them. In spite of how damaged you are, Smite. We need this thing to die as quickly as possible. Right. And he resisted bleeding.
Despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Alright, and it's still marked long enough for Basange to finish it off. Collect Bounty. Its mark wore off. It said it was marked for 2 rounds, and now it's not marked anymore. Really? Well, we can still kill it in 2 hits. Just one of those hits has to be Smite. Ah, shit.
Ears, blurred vision. The end approaches.
And Basange's resolve has been tested. Right. But that caused it to let go. Divine Grace, get Adenel off of Death's Door. We can still do this. Alright. And Boarding Clutch even missed. Alright. Target Whistle. Cross my fingers that Basange gets to attack. And in the meantime, Adenel, use Smite. And miss. Worst possible time for you to miss, and you missed. Alright, all hands on deck. At least that's not a threatening ability when there isn't a Ropeman active. Alright, collect bounty. Alright, we've almost got this. I'm just gonna go with Hound's Rush.
Finally, a sailor's death for captain and crew.
Okay. Didn't ever get a chance to use the dog treats. And a Protection Stone and a Bleed Stone. Nothing too special. I am, however, going to go back and get that one chest. And gradually let my heart rate return to normal. That was... okay. You know what? No, he's bleeding for too much for me to be willing to risk it. That will be at least 1 death blow check. So never mind, we're going back now. That was... I underestimated them. I underestimated just how much of an ability that boss has to heal itself. That was tough. But I think I've got him figured out. But the Sunken Crew they are a tough boss. That Roper, man, that Roper, he just keeps healing. It's actually hard to keep up with the healing curve in that boss fight. And 2 people are diseased. Emery is winded, but also has a second wind. That's an amusing bit of contradiction. And Mora's vertigo. It explains why she got moved successfully so many times. Assange is all tuckered out and has reduced stress in the cove. So, between winded and tuckered out, it's like they even were worn out by everything that happened in that fight. But we won. That's another boss under the belt.
I see something long absent in the sunken faces of passers-by.
Disgust.
Of hope.
Oh, hope. I was gonna say, I feel like as exactly what you did starts to come to light, I feel like disgust would be an appropriate thing to start seeing in the faces of passers-by. Anyway, I think I'm gonna treat the stress first, and the main thing is I want to treat Assange and Emery. Alright. And we're a little short on money, and I'm going to need to treat Damor and Adenel for their diseases anyway. I think it will be less expensive to treat their diseases than it will be to treat their stress. So I'll just commit them for disease treatment, and the stress treatment can come after the next quest when we have a bit more gold. However, having taken out 2 veteran-level bosses, I don't think I'm going to push my luck and go for a 3rd just yet. So, this is going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching, I love you all, and I will see you next time.